Models, come in and get a seat if you can. Get a seat if you can. Come on. I'll put some extra chairs out. Don't be afraid of each other. But be comfortable. Be comfortable. Who else we got coming in? Be comfortable. We got chairs over here in the corner too. Power couple.
Hey, brother, what's happening?
Yeah.
How you doing? All right.
You good?
I'm
good. And yourself?
So first of all, I am Shawn Grandberry. If you don't know me, I am the CEO of Hip Hop TV and also the director of Support Oakland Artists. I'm going to tell you where you're at. So this is our home base. For Support Oakland Artists, we have a mission to bring together artists and bring together as much support to foster art. That's a broad definition, by the way. Our ultimate goal is to turn this into an art house, similar to what the Cuban government has and also France has. France actually has an art house in San Francisco. They have mansions around the world in which the government support artists. I didn't know that because I was drawn to a project with them. And so I saw they had one in San Francisco. But they have them all around the world. So our goal is to have this 10,000 square foot, 17 bedroom house be filled with producers, actors, editors, cameramen, painters, DJs, all coming together to work together. So that's our ultimate goal. Right now, we've had this property for over 20 years, about 20, 25 years we've been here. We normally just rent to guys, single guys that need somewhere to lay their head. So it almost operates like an apartment building. Our long-term goal is to have to be an artist house. So literally projects are constantly going on. I say that because, to give a little history, my family felt this community. I felt my family felt this community. So my family is a Too Tough Enough production family. We brought you In Vogue, Tony, Club Nouveau. Probably sold 80 million records around the world just for my uncle, who's my older brother, and my mother was the CEO of the company. So I grew up in a music industry family, but we didn't give back the way we should have gave back. I'm going to be honest with you. I told my uncle this when I was a kid. I tell him to the day. He did not bring the community together in a way that it should be brought together. In fact, most people don't know, my close friend Shakir Stewart, may he rest in peace, left here after hanging with me and my family for all these years, went to Atlanta and put Atlanta together. Atlanta was put together by a guy from Oakland. Ask the artists in Atlanta who brought Atlanta together. It was a guy from Oakland with Gift of Gab from East Oakland. His job was, he worked for Hitco Music Publishing. His job was put the artist with the producer, artist, producer, and songwriters together to make hit songs. And he did that. That whole wall would be full of gold and platinum records. That's how his office used to sit. But Shakir was from East Oakland. And he grew up in the studio with me and my family. He took those ideas, went to Morehouse, and built that. So I'm telling you this because I'm working backwards now. You know, I'm starting to really work hard to bring people together. So you know what Hip Hop TV is? We're really about to, I've been working on this for years. We're really about to really roll it out. It's a video sharing platform for urban creators around the world. So a urban focused YouTube that's curated. We're launching our FAST channel, which is a global distributed channel with 2 billion people on the other end of it. So what we're doing, if most people don't know, I'm kind of a computer science by training, my education and stuff, but a data miner. So our job is to control the term hip hop and funnel as much data through a funnel, in essence. So that's what the name Hip Hop TV is so important, because hip hop means the same thing it means in Zanzibar that it means in East St. Louis, that it means in West Oakland. People know hip hop means urban culture. So it's not lost in translation anywhere in the world, which means we could garner lots of content from all over the world, especially being from the United States, of course. We're looked up as the creators of hip hop around the world. So we can funnel a lot of content and data into that. But I'm using Oakland as a white paper, our example of what we're doing. That's why we have to bring people together. People don't realize that the reason why we don't have the unity that we need in Oakland is the Black Panther Party was here. So the whole United States government concentrated COINTELPRO on Oakland so black people wouldn't work together. Because at the time, we snuck up on them. Some teenagers, in 1966 all got together and said, we're changing the world. The government said, oh, no, we can't have that. They unloaded every bomb they can in our community to stop black people in Oakland from coming together, because at one point, the teenagers almost changed the world. You know? So we are a concentration of not working together. We work in straight notches, you know, not working together. So I'm taking the platform of Hip Hop TV and I'm bringing people together. So one thing I'm doing is doing shows with everybody that's off the hook. Everybody's off the hook. I said, Hip Hop TV wants to partner with you. And everybody's like, oh, great. Including all the festivals that happen. So I am the incoming president of the business district for this area. So I oversee all the building owners and all the businesses in this area. I'm president of the board. So I produced the Temescal Street Festival. Those that made it last year, it was off the hook. We had 10,000 people out there. We have 20,000 people out this year. Now, the guy that works for me does the Laurel Street Festival, the Montclair Festival, and Oktoberfest. So 3 of the largest festivals in Oakland are produced by the same people, you know? And we're going to create one for downtown. Downtown doesn't have one. It's been Hyro Day in the past. But now we're working hard to create one downtown. So we have a festival in East Oakland, 10,000 plus people. North Oakland, 10,000 plus people. Waterfront, 10,000 plus people. Control that. Now what I'm doing is, why we having this, one reason we have this mixer, is I'm putting fashion shows into the festivals. We ran an experiment last year and I put it in Temescal. Now the difference with these festivals is they have budgets. It ain't people scrambling. The building owners pay into a tax every year. So there's a budget to do these festivals, a nice sized budget to do these festivals, because the building owners pay a tax. And that tax also covers those, you know, those ambassadors you see out there with the vest and swimming, that's paid for in that tax. But they have marketing dollars that's built into the fund too. I'm learning all this. Now, you see the altar to Chantel in the back. I took over for a lot of stuff Chantel was doing. Chantel was working on this. She was working on the actual board. Now I'm the president. Look how God works. Look how God works. So I'm using that to bring together and using fashion as a connector for all. Because fashion, you got to just understand, the lack of trust in Oakland is bad. The promoters don't really always like to work together. You know, some of them are janky promoters, you know, as we know. But the big guys don't always work together for some reason. The ones that they do an email, they can bring 1,000 people out with an email. There's a few of them there. They've been doing it for a long time. And there's some youngsters doing it too. With an email, to a social media post, boom, bring 1,000 people out. They don't work together though. So now I'm really working on everyone working together to bring our city back. Now that the world is open, we can start bringing our city back. Second, we can create a lot of content when we do it. Content is king, as you know. Content is king. Oakland is very popular in the world, if you don't know that. It's a very popular place in the world. Our Black Men's Hike post just garnered nearly 3 million Instagram views. And 5 million Facebook views. That was a hike in Oakland. Just a bunch of black guys hiking in Oakland. We are popular. And Oakland is killing it. So one of the things Support Oakland Artists does is we reach out to those that have gone on to do great things that's from Oakland and don't live here no more. And we try to create one event around them a year. That's Ryan Coogler. That's the list. You know the list is long. Russell Hornsby, J Kidd, all those. So I just did the sneaker ball, a couple of them, and I brought all the top basketball players in Oakland and put them in one room. That had never happened before, by the way. They told me. We've never been in one room before. And since we were kids and we were playing basketball against each other. But these are Hall of Fame guys. Gary Payne, Jason Kidd. The only one that wasn't there was Dame Lillard, and we're working on Dame. But what part of Support Oakland Artists is to bring back all the superstars that have come from this area and start creating events around them. So now for these festivals that have budgets, I'm asking Russell Hornsby to host one. You don't know Russell Hornsby? That's the daddy on BMF. You know the daddy on BMF. He grew up right here. He grew up by the lake. We actually went to high school together. Yeah, he was at the lake yesterday? Yeah. So, you know, he's from here. You know, Zendaya. The list goes on and on. Of all these crazy, crazy successful people that are from here, they no longer live here anymore, many of them. But they want to get back. They want to come and do stuff. So now we're working. We get all the promoters, all the star party ever come from here, all as a part of fixing Oakland. You know, Oakland is an incredible place, and all this doom stories and all this kind of stuff. We're coming out of it. I see the data, so it's not just I'm not talking out the side of my neck because I'm over this area. I know our window break-ins are down, our bipping is down, you know, our armed robberies are down, you know, and now we're trying to spread that amongst. That's not everywhere in the city, but I can say the city where we're at, we're heading in the right direction. We're about to have a new mayor, whether that's Barbara Lee or Lauren Taylor. They both are well qualified to do the job. Whoever that is, I've met with both. I just met with them 2 days ago. They walked the district. We're going to put the city in the right direction, but I want to say what we're going to do with Hip Hop TV. So we're going to produce around a good 12 solid super shows per year that will include fashion. We're partnering with the top promoters. So it's not like it's going to be 4 people showing up. These are the guys and ladies that push one button, 1,000 people showing up. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. But we all come together to create this. Second, we're looking for as many ideas from models, promoters, whatever you are, editors, to actually create shows. So if you got some ideas, you gotta holler at us, okay? You got some ideas with some dope stuff, come together. That's what we're here for. We're gonna make sure Pharaoh is already our top film producer in Oakland. We need to. I've been meeting with Pharaoh about doing with Detroit. Not a lot of people not paying attention to what Detroit. Detroit have a 2B model that's off the hook, and I watched them brothers build it. And the Detroit brothers, when you know them, I met with them. I've met with them before. They some thugs. They not that smart. You know what I'm saying? They thugs. You know what I'm saying?
And many of them took direction and creation from collabing musically with people out here, and they just went back home.
Hey, that's our cousins.
Same scenario with Atlanta.
Right.
They came out here, absorbed game, went back home and executed it.
Look at these brothers who start doing Detroit. They make movies. They have a whole Tubi model for the movie. There's more than Tubi, the whole distribution. They all come together and work together. So you got a red camera. You got the mic. You know, you an actress. You got a fancy car. You know, you a known killer. You know what I'm saying? You got the social media strip. So you got 50 million followers. They come together and do the project. They don't charge us. Nah, man, I need 5. No, they don't do that. They all roll up their sleeves. They take a back end cut, you know, that's right. And they drop them. They were driving Subarus a few years ago. Now they roll up in Rolls Royces. So roll up in Rolls Royces now. Same guy had a Subaru. He drives up in a Rolls Royce now. Right. Why can't Oakland have the same movie model? We're smarter than Detroit. Not nothing against Detroit. But we got all the brains in here. We got all the cameras. We got the schools of film here. So we got film students. You know, so there's no excuse for us to not to be having millions of dollars rolling out of here. And we got all the movie stars. So one of the things Support Oakland's job is to do. I'm supposed to get Russell Hornsby to do a project with the community. 1 a year, you know. Ryan Coogler to talk to some filmmakers about how he does it. You know, his filmmaking strategy. That's my job as a Port Oakland artist. So I'm beating all our successful people over the head saying, will you participate in something? Just having one of them in your story could be amazing. The host of an event, the host of fashion, being a fashion, anything. So the key is we're bringing everybody together to start moving our city forward. And that's really our mission. And that's why I wanted you guys to come here today, because I wanted, as I started to talk about it, we've been working kind of covertly. Now, the other thing that I oversee, and some of you guys may have seen this before, is the Oakland Exchange. Mm-hmm. So we're doing a top secret development project led by Jason Kidd and Jalen Brown. I oversee the West Coast side of this. West Coast and East Coast. East Coast, West Coast. I oversee the West Coast side of that. So we're buying buildings. We're putting together funding. We're funding companies. We're also bringing the athletic power. So Jalen Brown wrote the Oakland the Exchange project because his contract was worth $315 million. So he wanted to start teaching the other max contract athletes how can they invest back in their community and also build their own pocketbook. Right. So they're not doing it just to do it. They're not giving their money away. When they invest their money, they're making money too and building generational wealth. So Jalen Brown's writing a white paper on this right now and doing it. The next athlete was Jason Tatum. His contract was more than Jalen Brown's. Go till they hit Luka. Luka gonna break the bank. So they're moving. They're moving towards $500 million contracts. So what Jalen Brown is doing is saying, let's use our power to go back to our community. Right. Jalen's from Atlanta, by the way. He's working in Boston. He's going to work his way back to where he's from. So I say that because Jason Kidd has been doing a lot. He doesn't like to put his name on anything. But he's put like 1,000 kids to college. He's remodeled a gym. We have every Sunday. We have fellowship in basketball. Got Coach Steve in the back with me. We bring 50 to 70 young men out every Sunday. We've been doing it for 6 years now. And we pray, we fellowship, and we hoop. This is praying. This is like going to church, basically, for guys with ankle bracelets. Come out there, go there praying together. So Jason has been doing a lot of work. He doesn't like to talk about the work that he does. Now he's starting to come above water and talk about the good work. The reason why I say this is we're going to put together a film fund. This is something Farrell knows about. A film fund built around star power that comes out this area. That means we'll put up the money for film. And our film fund works, I know it's probably too much information. It's just a loan to somebody that's paid back with a percentage. But it's around media projects. So it's a way to evaluate whether a media project can make money. Oakland is a moneymaker. Because we got star power up to Union that live here or from here that all produce and direct. All these guys produce and direct too. And we got our on the ground folks too. So with that film fund, we better fund our own projects. Goes back to Hip Hop TV. The global distribution that we're building makes it so we don't have to go to Tubi no more. We don't have to go to HBO and TNT and all these Google and Meta and all of them no more. We can distribute ourselves to 2 billion people. That's where we heading. That's where we heading. And last thing I want to say before we jump into it is we have to be very careful with AI. We need to know it like crazy. But AI is replacing us. For black people in particular, we are star power. We bring them views to these platforms. We bring the traffic to these platforms. And if you look at I have to go to the meetings, look at the latest AI technology. That stuff's looking pretty close. It was hard to tell. So every time we upload, so this is what I do, a data scientist, data miner. When you upload, and when you like and you're doing all that stuff, there's a database being built on the back end of all these platforms. And to guys like me know more about you than you know about yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what it's built upon. You know, you like blue Nikes. We know everything about you. You like big booty women. You know, everything you check on, we track it, right? That's what we do. We track it. So then we can sell stuff to you. That's right. Because I know more about your thinking than you know. Right. And it's a computer telling, you know, John likes to dress nice. He likes nice sports jackets. Yep. He has an average spending power of $89.95. And he buys it on Thursday after he pays all his bill, then he can afford a sports jacket. All that data is there. That's what's going on. Right. It's all this data mining is what's going on. So I say that to say that we can data mine for ourselves too. Right. We can data mine for ourselves. So with that being said, we have 5 shows we're producing in the near future. We have other designers here. Elias is one of them that have shows coming up. Any other promoters that choose money? You got any shows coming up?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Our DJs produce shows, by the way. And also they produce shows too. So we got promoters here. We got models here. We got photographers, videographers. We're bringing everyone together. So when we do these shows, we all support each other. Last night, Sierra, who else is here? Bree. Who else party like rock stars last night? We party like rock stars last night in Trap Art. We're like rock stars. I'm an old man. I was out there, old man like crazy. It was off the hook. It was off the hook. I say that to say all the shows need to be like that. Trap Art is very good. We're co-producing a show with Trap Art, by the way, this summer. A big fashion show at Rudy. We're reaching out with everybody. So my point is, all the media that was produced from that, I mean, I did one little video and it's 1,000 of views already just for last night. And Hip Hop TV is global. That's people around the world checking this stuff out. I was surprised. I didn't think it would do that well, and it did crazy well. So I say that to say we're going to be working together. So the first show And we're going to do some practice walking. Hopefully John can help us as a coach tonight. I'll slip you a little something. The first show we're working on is August 4th. We're going to do a couple of scenes in our Tony tribute. These are the direct shows we're looking for models for today, is what I'm saying. So if you don't know the history of my family, Tony's first album was recorded in my grandmother's kitchen nook. So my uncle, who's like my older brother, Thomas McElroy, is a music producer. Foster McElroy, you know. And I want to say one more thing about giving back. Felton Pilot of Confunction mentored my uncle and gave back. He mentored my uncle and he mentored MC Hammer. Those are the two people, the old school guys, reached back and mentored. And they went on to be super successful. It was Felton Pilot in Confunction. Still alive, still forming with Confunction. He was the OG that reached back to young guys and said, boom. What did that generate? That generated Tupac, Digital Underground, In Vogue, Tony, Too Short, MC Hammer, Sheila E. The list goes on. They all live in the same city at the same time doing platinum albums. That's what Oakland was when I was a kid. Platinum albums everywhere. Everybody walking down the street like Dwayne too. You just see him walking down the street. We got to bring that back. That's right. We got to bring that back. But the reason why I say that, so on August 4th, at Rooting the 510, we're going to do a tribute to Tony. This was something we had already planned before Dwayne's death, too. So this is something we were already going to do. I knew he was sick, and I didn't know how long he had to live. So we were planning to do this. It's Dwayne Wiggins. So our Tony tribute has a Tony couple scenes in it. If you don't know, Mario B was a stylist for Tony. Right. So we asked Mario to do a scene. James Head had did some stuff for Tony way back in the day, but James Head's the one that designed MC Hammer's dance pants. Yeah. The dance pants. So these are all Oakland folks, by the way. Mario's San Francisco, but James is Oakland. So we got some designers that work with the band too, and we're trying to bring in many of the original band members. So and the history I was given was that every day after school, I was like in 6th or 7th grade. Every day after school, I would go to my grandmother's house and eat my little yogurt, my banana, my little granola bar. I was trying to be healthy. I was a little basketball player. And watch my uncle work. I would watch him. I'm in the kitchen table. He's in the kitchen nook making beats. So he would make the beat. And then Tony would be Ralph, Tim, and Dwayne would come over. And they would listen to the songs. I'm just sitting there doing my homework. Listen. That song sucked. I like that song. I watch him do that. The whole album. It was amazing. So it's a lot of us that have a serious connection to Tony. I'm trying to bring all those people back. We aren't the family. You know, we're not his wife. We're not his kids. We were the ones that were there with him before they were even famous, when they were just, 3 guys walking down the street. And actually, it's like 7 to 8 of them. It's a full band. Elijah and Carl and all those guys. It was all of them. It was all of them in the beginning. So that's August 4th. We got our Afrofuturism is April 9th. I sit on the board of the Junior Science Center. It sits there on Lake Merritt. They've been doing work for 50 years. 9th. Thank you. April 19th. Thank you. That's why I got Holly here. We can also do some shows with Afro Comic Con. That's a whole other story with Holly. We're going to pick a date to do one. She's going to help with this one, too. April 19th is our Afrofuturism. April 26th is our Afrofuturism, our dedication to Chantel. So before Chantel died, and those who don't know, Chantel was my partner. She was a mental health therapist, and unfortunately, she committed suicide one night. So out of the blue, she was on top of the world. She was running for city council in this area. She had a big-time, powerful job. One day, she decided to give up. And for me, it touched me a lot because Shakira Stewart, who I started everything with, also committed suicide the same way. They both shot themselves in the head. And I was supposed to be there for both of them. I was there. With Chantel, I found her body, in fact. So it was a lot. But her birthday is April 23rd. So I try to do something right around the time of her birthday, a big show. That is for Healthy Black Families. That's at the Ed Roberts campus. If you went to Chantel's Celebration of Life, it's at the same place. Right there at the Aspie Bar. It's beautiful inside the building. And we got my birthday party is May 10th. That's another show we're going to do. Yeah. Don't surprise me like they did a couple years ago. They surprised me with a lingerie fashion show. And my mother was there. I hear from my mother for years. why the girls put on G-strings, you know, so please don't. Yeah, so my mother, aunties, everybody there, and I had to hear it for years, you know. So that's also the Secure Student Ascot Award. So every year we do an Ascot Award for graduates of St. Mary's that went on to do great things, and that'll be May 10th, and then July 12th is the Temescal Street Festival. For those that participated in that show last year, it was amazing. We had 10,000 people out. We're doing the same fashion show again this year. I'm trying to add more festivals. In this room, Elias, we're going to do a joint venture. I'm calling it out. Holly, we're doing a joint venture. I'm calling it out. You know, so any other promoters in here, we're calling it out. So now, hopefully, Sierra and John, we can start some walking and mixing and everything. Before we do that, any questions? I know I talked a little more than I wanted to talk. So any questions, concerns, Tracy?